Hi Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your September 2020 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. Now before we dive into this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds. Feeling yourself enter into this safe, quiet, peaceful space. All right. Now I'm going to be moving your Queen of the Moon and your Moonology cards over to the side. These will later be layered on top of the tarot to really give Luna a voice of her own. So let's see here. How will Cancer be affected by the September 2020 full moon? How will Cancer be affected by the September 2020 full moon? How will Cancer be affected by the September 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. With one bonus card right here. All right. The left-hand side, this is your inner self, your personal self. The middle is your emotional self. And the right-hand side is your public self. And then, of course, you have your bonus card. I have the moon all laid out here for you. It moves from September 2nd, which is the full moon in September, to October 1st, which is the full moon in October. So from full moon to full moon. Now let's see what your inner self cards have to say. We have the Eight of Wands. Things move fast. There is this beautiful change that comes forward. You have the Hermit energy, which can be defining the time that we're in right now, most definitely with the state of the world and things being more kind of closed off, more hermity, right? This is also a Virgo energy, so you have a very strong connection to the new moon in Virgo, which is on the 17th of September. Then we have the moon card. So the moon plays a very powerful role in your life during this time. This is also a Pisces energy, and the full moon is in Pisces. So you are very linked to the full moon in September, and it has a profound effect on you. Pisces energy is, of course, a time frame of February 19th to March 20th. And then we have the Knight of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The full moon in October is in Aries, so you're also very pulled towards this full moon, meaning that this time with Virgo, Pisces, and fire sign energy, Aries energy, coming forward, you are greatly impacted by these moons and the phases of these moons. So this is going to be a time where you might sit there and sometimes think, oh my gosh, my emotions are all over the place. I'm so intense and I'm looking at things so powerfully during this time. Like, where is this coming from? It's the power of the moon, and it hits you fast and it keeps on hitting you. Not in, well, for some of you, you're not going to see it as the best time in the world you've ever had, but it's not going to be in a bad way. It's in a very powerful way that moves you forward. The veil between our world and the other world during this time, to the spirit world during this time of the Pisces full moon, is very thin. And you are an astoundingly connected and emotionally intuitive person. So this is going to be a time where you are right there. You are right there with spirit. You are right there with the way that you need to move forward. And you are seeing yourself being guided in a direction that really does surprise you. Then we have the Six of Swords, gathering up all your knowledge, all your wisdom, moving forward. You have the Fool. You're starting a new adventure. It's kind of like, I have to take this leap of faith. You have the Four of Wands, which is absolutely beautiful. This is positivity and blessings that cannot be erased or ignored. Well, you can ignore them, but it takes a bit of work. And then we have the King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, again, enhancing this Virgo presence, but also making it so that you put the crown on your head. You claim your throne. You know what it is that you desire. Even if you're figuring it out, your heart is really leading you during this time, and this is what you've been waiting for. So that's really quite beautiful. Then we have the Magician. You're claiming your power, you're knowing your truth, as above, so below, as you believe it, so it becomes, and you're seeing that the God's head is hidden within us. Now, in Hinduism, Rama said that he hid the God's head within man, because that is the one place we wouldn't look for it. And in the public arena, as uncomfortable as it might be, you're looking inward for this Godhead because you are absolutely connected to your heart, your soul, and yourself. And you are finding that you move forward in astoundingly powerful ways. It leads you to the Empress. It's claiming a throne that you thought was lost. You are pregnant with possibilities. You are moving forward, nurturing, caring, and Spirit is saying cuddling, but I'm not seeing cuddling in a bad way. It's kind of like this new idea, and you don't want it to kind of fall away. And so you're just so in love with it that you're just lavishing all your love and all your attention on it, the way that you want to move forward. It can be that you know, for some of you Cancers, you can be getting pregnant, you can be adopting, an animal or something like that. It's something here that just takes your attention, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And that's what you're really doing. For others of you Cancers, this is the way you love, okay? And this is quite frankly the way that you love. You lavish your attention. You are right there. Nobody can tell you how to love, which is a very, very, very powerful part of your personality. And here, it's claiming something that once felt lost, an aspect of yourself, a power of yourself, your voice, your intuition, your passion, your desire. You're claiming it, and you're moving forward with it. This leads you to the Six of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. And this is very interesting because you're letting go of a damaged past. You really are. It's like no longer are you on the outside of wealth. No longer are you letting dramas from the past and a sense of things being unbalanced, especially with money, because I'm seeing the Six of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles overlaying the Six of Cups very strongly here. So this is going to be a sense of, I am moving forward towards what I desire, towards what I want. It wasn't fair before because in very big moments of my life, I had this negativity coming in. I had this trauma that was spoken over me when I was very small and when I didn't really have a voice of my own. And that wasn't fair. And you are forgiving yourself for being so hurt. You are forgiving that person for hurting you, not in a let's go have lunch type of way, in a, it can be you schmuck. You like, I am never letting you have this power over my life ever, ever, ever again. Period. End of discussion. Okay? It's almost like you're dead to me. And it frees you. It really does for you. And it moves you forward to be able to embrace the wealth that you want here on this earthly plane, to be able to move forward in the way that you absolutely desire. it leads you to the Five of Cups. You change your mind, you change your whole entire life. The repeat of the number 5 is a freedom number. It is something that can be resolved much more easily than you think it can. Now, you might think, oh my gosh, this is never going to move forward. So it being easier than that can be still a little bit daunting, but it's the way that you move forward. It's the power that you are graced with. It's the sense of embracing what you desire, what you want, and where it is that you need to be. And you are really taking charge because of this, which is really quite beautiful. So let's start with this moon. This is a Pisces full moon, right? And the full moon represents power, and it represents a surrendering to the divine. And here with the Pisces full moon, it is balancing spirituality with practicality, which is very important, especially for you, Cancer, as a water sign energy. That's one of the reasons why this moon is so powerful for you, because it is a water sign energy. Pisces is a water sign energy. The water calls to you. You're going to find that water work, okay? Healing through water, kind of soothing through water. You might find, you're going to find that Epsom salt baths and just anything to do with water is astoundingly powerful for you. So if it is summer, of course, where you are in the northern hemisphere, if you go swimming, very powerful for you. Okay, that energy, the soaking in, the water soaking in the energy from the sun is going to really invigorate you. If you're in the southern hemisphere and it's winter, just making sure that you stay hydrated. Even, and I know it might sound funny, you might think, oh, that tastes terrible, but even just drinking boiled water. And it is something that I actually really like to do because I love that nice hot drink, but sometimes you just don't want to have another cup of tea, which is usually not my problem. You make yourself not have another cup of tea. And so here, you're just going to find that the water, the more you increase your water, yes, it starts off like, if you're not used to drinking water, it's kind of like a sponge that can't hold it. It just goes right through you. But the more you drink water, the more kind of sponge-like and able to absorb the water your body becomes. And it's astoundingly good for you. So here, you are moving in this power, and I see water work being astoundingly powerful for you. This is also a great time and a marvelous time to connect with divinity, to connect with the other world, the spirit world. You have astounding connections here. You are also very in tuned and able to embrace compassion. Now, for you, Cancer, embracing compassion is never a hard thing to do. And this is why this is going to be so intense for you, because this is very much a time of the High Priestess. This is the mystic moon. This is also the poet's moon, the dreamer's moon, the witch's moon. This is a moon that connects you with greater power, greater insights, and greater understandings. And as the High Priestess, as you are embracing the High Priestess, you are embracing your truth, your power, and your ability to move forward. And so here, the veil is being lifted from your eyes. And you are seeing everybody in a way that they just don't want to be seen. They want their carefully constructed masks to be laid over who they truly are, and so that they can fool the world. It's a masquerade. And it's who has the best costume and who has the best catchphrase that really wins. And during this time, it's not really going to work. It's especially not going to work for you. You're going to find that something's off. You might look at a person and be like, wow, I always really liked you. And now I just don't, and I don't know why. And it sounds mean, but it's not. You have to surround yourself with people that raise you up, Cancer. Not people who sit there and see your brilliance, your love, your compassion, your power, and say, I want that, so I'm going to drain it from you. No, this is a time where you are truly connected with where you want to be and how you want to move forward. The veil is also very thin, right? You're very connected to the spirit world, and you're very connected to insights, ideas, and understandings. You're finding a voice that once felt lost. And as you do so, okay, know that the intensity of this world can become overwhelming. Now, this can lead you to really craving sleep, meditation, and prayer, which is a really good thing, right? But it can also lead to not wanting to get out of bed, just wanting to pull the duvet up and say, I'm done. I'm not getting out. I'm not going out. I can't do this anymore, kind of deal, and just wanting to hide away. That you're going to have to be mindful of, all right? And it can also lead to a wanting to indulge in alcohol or in drugs, because it's going to be anything to escape the harshness of this world. Really focus on positive sleep, meditation, okay, and prayer. That's going to be absolutely beneficial for you. Okay, negative sleep, alcohol and drugs, numbs the pain, most definitely, but it does not help you in any way, shape, or form. You're actually going to find that you're very sensitive to these things during this time, so be mindful of this. Okay, but you are going to find this to be an astoundingly powerful time, an invigorating time, and a charging time for you. Excuse me. This leads you to the new moon in Virgo, which is on the 17th of September. This is a time to give rather than to take. This is a time of new beginnings. This is a time of a new start coming, and you're walking through one portal of reality, one way of seeing things into a new way of seeing things. And you are giving to yourself rather than taking. You are giving of positivity, love, caring, and nurturing, rather than saying, wow, you could have done better. Wow, this is all you have to give. You know, are you kidding me? Type of thing. You're really walking away from the negative during this time. And it hits you really hard because instead of being super intense on yourself, negative, doubting, you are being super positive, and you're trying to be. So you might mess up, you know, as we do as human beings. You might mess up along the way, but you are empowered, you are emboldened, and you are giving to the world. You are giving yourself forward. Now, Cancer, for you, and especially for you, you have a tendency to give too much. Okay, so this is why with the full moon and with the new moon in Virgo, you're going to have to be very mindful, because you're going to think, I should give rather than taking. I should give rather than taking. And you're going to see the littlest thing as being selfish and egotistical and all that, and it's not. So here, you give rather than take, but you remember to give to yourself rather than taking on more responsibilities and more responsibilities. So that's going to be something that you really need to focus on. It's kind of like, does it bring me joy? Does it move me forward? And yeah, sometimes life doesn't bring us joy. We have responsibilities. We have 1-year-olds that scream in our faces, and we have, you know, things that we have to do that we don't want to do. And you sit there and you think, how did my life get here? You know, what is going on? But you sit there and you also say, taking care of my responsibilities and being a person that can be counted on is something that I value. And in Cancer, it is something that you value because you are the fiercest warrior. Yes, Aries is represented as the emperor. He's the god of war, but you are the charioteer. You are the tank when it comes to ancient warfare. You are the person who can risk and who dares and who moves forward with speed and ferocity. Do not forget that about you, because your gift is the kindness and the depth of your heart, right? And in this world, we sit there and we think, that's not great. You know, you should be tougher. You should be, you know, you shouldn't let things get to you kind of deal. And that's not you. So you're going to think, my gifts aren't that good. And really, they're breathtaking. So don't downplay you just because of jerks, all right? Stand in your power and in your truth. Because the full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches, you step into your power. You step into your desire. You step into your truth and your destiny. And you do so with a ferocity that takes you by surprise, which is really quite lovely. Now, in September, the spirit animals are the bear spirit and the owl spirit. Now, the bear spirit, you have very much a mama, a papa, however you identify yourself as, bear spirit going on here. It is fierce, you are protective, you are determined, and, you know, in the wildlife, this is the mama bear, okay? It is the mama bear who will protect her young to, you know, to hell and back. And that's just her. And so here, that's really the energy that you are picking up on. You are very concerned with your dominion. You're very concerned with where you hang your hat, what you call your own, right? The people, the place, it means a lot to you during this time. Very kind of, it's funny because you have the Empress here and they're just showing me nests. So it's kind of like nesting, very much so. But it doesn't mean that you have to be pregnant at all. It just means that you're taking really great pride in where you are and what you want from your life. And this moves you to an authority to yourself and kind of being larger than life, really embracing the seeds that you've planted over your heart and saying, this is who I am, and I'm not apologizing. And instead of saying, sorry, I'm not apologizing, it's like, I'm not apologizing. I'm standing in my truth, I'm standing in my power, and you are going to find yourself being very protective of those who are weaker, okay? And it's also being very protective of you in situations where you feel that you are weaker than you should be. And you're going to find yourself sitting there and saying, you know what, no, I'm strong, I am strength, I am determination, I am moving forward in this power. And you have the wisdom of the owl coming forward. Now this amplifies the high priestess, okay, from the Pisces full moon. And this is you having a deep connection to wisdom. This is you sharpening your vision and your insight for what you're really taking in. You're being super observant. You have intuition up and down the Mississippi, and you see beyond the mess that people wear. It can be very overwhelming, yes, but you take time out to really look at what's important to your heart and your soul. And as you do so, you see clearly now. And you see what's important to you. And you see where you've gone wrong. Now, when you see where you've gone wrong, and I laugh a little bit because my Venus is in Cancer, and I see this quite often, you will tend to think, oh, I should have just been nicer. I should have just been more, right? And I have good friends who are Cancers, and you see that within you guys. And it's like, no, stop taking the blame onto you, because everybody else is more than willing to put it there. It's kind of like, oh, well, I really don't like feeling guilty or upset about something, but Cancer, you're really good at handling this. You take it. And you're like, no more. You stand your ground, you know your truth, and you're really turning inward towards your power and towards your understanding. It leads you to the spirit animals of October, which are the crow spirit and the dove spirit. Now, it's a very interesting pairing because the crow spirit you would see as a harbinger of death, right? And the dove spirit you would see as a harbinger of peace. But that's not true. The crow spirit is a harbinger of change. And the crow gets a really bad rap. Crows are astoundingly smart, actually smarter than parrots. They also mate for life. They are absolutely beautiful birds. We tend to overlook them because we sit there and we go, okay, they're black, that's not a big deal. But the black holds blue and purple and just a depth of color that we are too caught up into our own selves to see. And their caw is more screeching. It's not the subtle coo of the dove. So we bring kind of our own prejudice to the table when it comes to the crow. But when the crow comes to gift us, it brings change. It brings sacred law. It brings a trust in our personal integrity and intuition and identity. It moves us forward to speaking the truth. And we see ourselves being transformed by the personal gifts that the crow brings, because it brings us messages that we were at one time too scared to hear. And this leads us to the peace of the dove, which amplifies the gifts of the crow, because the dove brings messages of peace and hope, and it helps us move forward, especially during these heartbreaking times, these intense, fear-filled times. And it leads us to gentle compassion. It leads us to a release of pain and to a beauty of ourselves. So the dove says, be peace. And the crow says, co-create with spirit, because you're really seeing these gifts move you forward. And as you do this, as you embrace the power and the force of the bear and the wisdom of the owl, the change of the crow and the peace of the dove, you see yourself moving forward to a change you never thought would come. And things come at you fast during this time. And at times you're going to sit there and think, I don't even have time to breathe. I don't have time to take this all in. What is going on here? It's a change that divinity has to move you forward. And no matter how you cut it, you cannot stop this change. It moves you in a direction that is really quite intense, powerful, and part of your life path and your life story. It leads you to turning inward, right? And I like the 8 going into the 9. 8, the 8 of Wands, and 9, the Hermit card. So this amplifies the power of the new moon on the 17th of September. This also moves you forward to a greater understanding of yourself. This is a time period, August 23rd to September 22nd. This is a sense where you know more about you than you did before. You're seeing a greater truth, a greater understanding. You are following your passion and your desire. Your path is lit by what you most hope for, what you most want from your life and from yourself. And as you move forward in this truth, you move forward in the truth of you. You move forward in the power of you, and it sets you apart. This isn't going to be a time where you sit there and you're like, oh, I wish I could talk to everybody and go everywhere. You might have moments of that, You might, because you are starting the Fool's journey and you're starting a new path forward. And Cancer, you're going to kind of want to think, take in what everybody thinks of it and how you should move forward and what other people are doing. But this is actually the best for you, because you're sitting there and saying, no, this is what I want. This is what I need. And it doesn't matter what everybody else says. You're following your 10 of Cup path. You're following your path to love, to blessings, to joy, to happiness, to beauty. And it leads you to fully connecting with this moon. It leads you to a sense where you feel much more calm, much more focused at night. You might actually find the noise of the day to be kind of overwhelming and jarring. You might find that you do your best work at night, where you have your greatest inspirations. This is a time also where you face fears, things that have held you back in the past. And now you're seeing yourself moving forward towards blessings, but things from the past still try and snare you, still try to say, oh, you think you can move forward to having these blessings, these joys, these beauties? I don't think so. And the moon is sitting here and saying, yes, you can. Because the moon tells us it's time to face our fears, and it's time not to be defined by them. Now, the moon shows us our fear of the dark. Almost every little kid is afraid of the dark. And it's a primordial fear within us. Our ancestors were afraid of the dark because you didn't know what was going to come. We're sight hunters. We need the light. We need it. It makes us feel safe, right? And so here, and we can see it in our world. We have lights. We have bright lights. We have light pollution. We shoo off the dark and say, don't worry, I got this. No. This is a card that says, and this is a statement from Spirit that says, it is time to embrace the quiet. It is time to embrace the serene. It is time to move forward in your truth. It does not need to be the bright, glaring light of the sun, but the silvery light of the moon that blesses and leads you forward, that leads you to something more. You can find yourself being very drawn to deities of compassion. The two that come to mind the most are Kuan Yin and the Virgin Mary. You could also be very drawn to Esther. You can be very drawn to Hecate. Is that her name? Oh, I had it and I just lost it. The goddess of the hearth in Greek mythology. You find yourself being very drawn to the kindness, the compassionate, the beauty of the world, and how you want to move forward in that beauty. This is you looking at fear and saying, fear is a part of humanity. It is a part of the human experience. And it is in the forefront of our mind, yes, because it's also a survival mechanism. As we were evolving, it wasn't thought, oh, people will be afraid of humiliation. People will be afraid of large groups of people. It was thought people will be afraid of eating this food that will poison them. People will be afraid of meeting this new clan, this new tribe that they don't know because they could kill them. People will be afraid of going to this new place because there can be wild animals that will eat them. And so our primordial fears come forward into our modern world. And they don't really have the same place. For a lot of us, they just don't have the same place. Oh, you have to have this fear because it'll keep you alive hunting. Most of us get our food from the grocery store. You have to have this fear because it'll keep you from eating the poisoned berries. Again, grocery store. And so here, it is looking at the fears that we have. And it is saying, at times, the worry, the doubt, and I am the queen of worry, plays a leading role in our lives in a way that it shouldn't. It kept our ancestors alive, yes. But it is stunting me from moving forward in the way that I need to. And you're going to say that to yourself, Cancer. It's stunting you in the way of moving forward that you need to. And instead of seeing the beauty in the shadows, the beauty in the unknown, there's just horror, there's just fear, there's just doubt. And you're done with it. You're done with it. And you're moving forward in the second fastest night to your passion, to your creativity, to what you want from your life and from yourself. You're not going to be held back anymore, nor do you want to be. You're moving towards a truth that felt like it would never come, but has come. It inspires you, it guides you, it leads you towards something greater. This very much connects you with the full moon in October, but it also gives you the passion to sit there and look at all the information, the wisdom, the insight, the knowledge that this full moon is in Pisces is giving you. and to boil to the truth, to boil up what is needed, to really get what you desire there. And yes, you can say, okay, if you boil the water and you boil it too much, it all evaporates. Yes. But then it rains down again. And you are moving towards your passion, towards where you want to be. You're defending this change that moves you forward, because you start here with a fire sign energy. You end here with a fire sign energy, right? In your personal line, you start and you end with it. You start with a change and you end with an ability to handle that change, a determination, a focus, a dedication. And it leads you to the Six of Swords. It leads you to taking your knowledge, taking your understanding, gathering it all up, and moving to the unknown. Now, does it scare you? Yes, it does. But this is a time when your heart and your mind come together. And this is very important, because I see us as emotional beings. And as emotional beings, we need to have our emotions and our mind talk to each other. But in our world, we have them cut off. We're either logical people or we're emotional people. We either act off of facts or we act off of instinct. And we deny ourselves the beauty of both paths. So here, as you embrace your logic, you move forward on your emotion. And you learn how to have these conversations, to talk about how you feel. If you need to start a journal or talk out loud to your angels and work it out that way, that would be beautiful. You move forward towards a greater truth, towards a greater power. And you move forward, yes, embracing what has scared you, but not letting fear hold you back, which is the power that this moon is bringing you. It leads you to the Fool. You're going to think yourself foolish. You are also greatly connected to the spirit world here. You're taking in that connection from the spirit world, and you are getting insights, ideas, and understandings that are truly moving you forward on a new path into a new space. The Fool is you taking that leap of faith. Now, the Fool is a journey started. The Fool is the hero's path. Because every hero, before they become a hero, is a fool. Everybody laughed at them. Every visionary, every entrepreneur gets laughed at before they start to succeed. Every artist gets laughed at. The success comes and people go, oh, I always knew you could make it. And you sit there and you look at them and you think, you liar, you. Here, it is the world afraid of being turned to stone. Think of Medusa. Think of Perseus. Now, how Medusa became to be Medusa is astoundingly sad. All right? And yet, she turned heroes to stone, people who tried to slay her, even though she was cursed. She was cursed to have hair that became serpents, because the goddess Athena, yes, was jealous that she had more beautiful hair than her. Yeah. And she was abused, raped within Athena's walls. And so a curse was set upon her. And why I say this is not to upset you. It's to show the injustice. All right? So when you start your hero's journey, when you walk on your path, some might see you as the one who has been held against, the one who shouldn't make it out successful. And it's not to say that, what is Spirit trying to say here? Spirit is saying that on the shields of man, they wore a Medusa charm. The Medusa charm was to ward off evil. This hero's journey is to ward off the evil of not moving forward in a path that you were born to walk because you are afraid what others might think. That's what Spirit is saying. It took me a little while to decode it, as Spirit likes to talk in mythology to me for some reason, but it is a powerful truth. It is a powerful truth. You are starting your hero's journey, and you're looking at the story, and you're saying two people are remembered. Perseus, yes, for slaying Medusa, but Medusa for being a monster that was so powerful that she became legend. And that's what we're seeing here. A monster is in the eye of the beholder. It is in the storyteller. You are moving towards a truth that is powerful, that is connecting you to what you love and what you want, and that is breaking barriers. So it does not matter how sad the beginning is, how many hurdles you have to overcome, how much you doubted yourself. There's a power and a legacy to you that is living on, that is moving forward. And it does not mean the world will know your name. It means that you will be a one to complete a life path, a truth and a power that moves you towards something great, that moves you towards something beautiful. And it started because you dared to be thought of as a fool. You dared to go against the grain. And it leads you to a beauty, to a love, to a joy, to a happiness that will not be diminished. This is new job opportunities. This is moving forward in life in a way that's breathtaking. This could be a relationship moving to the next level. This can be moving house as things calm down. And you see yourself moving forward to your passionate power and in your optimal grace. And you do so with love. Now this portal brings you to new beginnings, which is very connected around the 17th. So you may find yourself really moving towards what you love, or finding the direction that you love a bit more towards the 17th of September. It leads you to placing the crown upon your head, knowing what you desire, knowing what it is that you want, and knowing where it is that you want to be. You embrace your prosperity, you embrace your bounty, you place that crown on your head and you claim that throne. And you say, this is me. This is a very strong connection, again, to the new moon as a Virgo energy. And this is saying here that you see a greater power within yourself, a greater way of connecting things that seem to be unconnectable is not a word, but you don't see that connection right off the bat. And yet, as you look at things, as you calm yourself, as you embrace your prosperity, as you say, I have every right to stand in my wealth and in my power, you see yourself moving forward. And nobody doubts you anymore. It's not that nobody doubts you right away. It's that you become so confident in yourself that they can doubt and you don't care. There are times where you feel stuck, where you kind of want to move in other directions, but responsibilities hold you back. That is the weight of a king. That is simply the weight of a king. And you're okay with that. You really are, because it's getting you to where you need to be, to where you want to be. And you are embracing the magician. The magician is knowing your magic. As above, so below. As you think it, so it becomes. And you're seeing that within within the public arena. As you think yourself, so you become. So you embrace. And here, it's saying believe. Believe that you know the God's head within. Believe that you understand the power. Believe that you are moving towards a greater truth and a greater force than you could ever have imagined. Believe in this, and you will be unstoppable. You will be the one to create your future. You will be the one here to stand in this power and this grace, to move from negativity into positivity, to move forward in the beginning that you want, in the action that you want within your life. And it moves you to such a beautiful connection with this moon that it takes your breath away, that it eliminates fears from your life. It doesn't erase them, but it eliminates the power that they have over you as you move forward, understanding your knowledge, understanding your prosperity, understanding your passion, and understanding the depth of your heart, and saying these are gifts and not curses. This is beauty and not damnation. Because a lot of your gifts, Cancer, they're so different that you're going to sit there and think that they're wrong. And they're just not. They're just not. They're powerful and they're beautiful. And they are yours. And it moves you to the Empress. It moves you to claiming a throne you thought was lost. To claiming a voice you thought was silenced. To claiming a creation that you didn't think could be yours. And it bringing forward to this world something beautiful. Something special. And something entirely you. You are not being held back anymore. You are not being denied. And as you move forward in this passionate power and in this grace, right, you see all the times that you were held back, all the times that you thought, man, I was wrong. I can't do this. I can't move forward this way. I don't know where I'm headed. All the hurts and the pains that you brought to very special events in your life. With love and with sorrow, you have moved forward. You have been defined by the negativity that others have spoken over you. And you have been held back by their own scars and hurts. Here, she's in a wedding dress. And when I look at the Six of Cups, my teenage years come back. My very best friend, all right? I was at her aunt and uncle's house. And I remember her uncle said to me, he was being a bit of a bully to his wife. And I just looked at him like, how could you talk to her that way and be like that? And he looked at me and he said, never get married. You'll be very bad at it. And it stuck. It stuck all these years later. I'm not a teenager anymore. And you're going to see things like that from people who do not matter. They stick. They hurt. And the Six of Cups is us carrying them from childhood, from, young adulthood, even from early adulthood into our lives, because they touch on scars that we have. And we say, is this our reality? You're seeing yourself heal. You are seeing yourself become better and stronger because you had looked at lies and not made them your master. You have looked at other people's pain and not made them your truth. And you stand tall in mourning and in love as you move forward to a life that you want, not ones that other people have spoken over you. It leads you to the Five of Pentacles. You no longer see yourself at the outside of wealth, on the outside of love. Spirit wanted me to say first. You no longer see yourself as a pauper, as a beggar, as somebody who's only worthy of scraps. You walk through the doors. You embrace the passion that you want, the prosperity, the truth, the power. And you move towards something greater, something you, and something that you've forgotten. This is a time of forgotten power coming back, of blessings falling over you, of negativity being banished, curses being annihilated, and the truth and your wisdom, as you take away the negative, moving you forward in tremendous positivity. It leads you to the Five of Cups. You change your mind and you change your whole entire life. No longer feeling like the rejected. No longer feeling as if the sorrows outweigh everything else. You are guided and blessed by your angels, and you move forward in that truth. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. How will Cancer be affected by the September 2020 full moon? How will Cancer be affected by the September 2020 full moon? How will Cancer be affected by the September 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Yeah. And show me pity. Clearly. Pity. That's it. For you, the new adventure that is starting. Okay? There's a sense of moving from feeling sorry for a path that was guided by somebody else and moving you towards a truth that becomes legend, that becomes power, that becomes greatness. That's it. And it moves you towards a new beginning that you love and a throne surrounded by wealth. Well, that's exciting. That's very exciting. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. How will Cancer be affected by the September 2020 full moon? How will Cancer be affected by the September 2020 full moon? How will Cancer be affected by the September 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Okay. So we start here with realization. Yeah, you're unlocking this huge block, right? And you're moving forward in a realization that is powerful. It brings to fruition what you desire as you move forward in sovereignty of self, mastery, and majesty. It lets you release, because it's time to release negative energy. And your commitment is being tested to the way that you release the negative to move forward into something so much more. It's not just the positive, it is the essence of why you're here. Adjustments are required. As you bring love into the situation, your hard work pays off. You have to adjust your mind and the way that you're seeing things, because your hard work pays off in a way that you hadn't expected. But if you keep old traditions, if you keep the old way of doing it, you'll miss it, and it'll miss you. It will come around again, but Spirit is not exactly sure when. The stars will align, the moon will align in such a way that the door is open for you. You're releasing, you're walking through the keyhole, you are opening that door, and you are moving forward towards bringing to fruition your sovereignty, the majesty and the queenliness of this moon, as you move towards something greater, something so much more. It brings you to a release, a double release, said twice by the moon. So you are releasing, because it's time to release negative energy. It's time to open up your chakras, to open up the vulnerability, to stand with your head up and your head back here. She's baring her neck and she's baring her belly. Now, why animals stand on all fours is because they're protecting their vital organs. Here, okay, your throat can be pulled out, right? Your vital organs can be ripped out. And yes, I know this is violent, but it is truth. And that's why the way that we stand erect is so odd. It really is odd, because we let ourselves be so vulnerable. And here, and that's why when we're sad or depressed or overwhelmed, we hunch. When we're really focused, we're hunched, because we protect ourselves. We protect what's vitally important, or organs, there we go, ourselves. And so here, as you are embracing yourself, you are opening yourself up to vulnerability, which is what you're doing here as you start on your true path. So you open yourself up to vulnerability, but you release negativity. So even if people are sitting there kind of taking you by eyes, wanting you to fail, you're like, no, this is my path, it is not yours. This is my life, it is not yours. And I will move forward in this truth, this passion, this power, because you're committed to what is bigger. And your commitment is being tested, because it is uncomfortable, but it is powerful, and it is you. And it moves you here to needing to make adjustments, to not being so set in stone that you let the beauty pass you by. Remember, as above, so below, as you believe it, so it becomes. See that God's head within, and see the adjustments that need to be made as you move forward in your truth and in your power. Because as you do so, you bring love into the situation. You bring the bounty of your heart. You bring the passion of your soul. You bring the depth of your truth. And it leads you to your hard work paying off. It leads you to being so much more than you ever expected. And so the subconscious message of the moon is hunger. You're hungry for this change. You're hungry for this power. You're hungry for this way to move forward. It echoes through your mind, and you haven't been able to name it. And as you hunger for it, know that luck is on your side. Know that you are taking aim and hitting your mark. And your subconscious tarot message is the Knight of Pentacles. Slow and steady. You have the Knight of Wands, who is the second fastest moving knight. And then you have the Knight of Pentacles, who is the second slowest moving knight. Now, as being represented by the Knight of Cups in the Minor Arcana, you're more comfortable with moving slowly, because the Knight of Cups is the second slowest moving knight. Here, you are slowly and steadily moving towards your prosperity, towards your bounty, and towards what you desire. You are moving towards what is truly valued within your life, and you are setting down an astoundingly secure, stable, and impenetrable foundation that is guiding you towards where you truly need to be. Wow, Cancer. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of positive energy as we move forward in our peace, our soul self, and the beauty of our truth. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and harmony, Cancer.